Hello everybody, welcome to the OAG RC. I am Craig. Thank you very much for stopping by the channel today, ready for another Tamiya RC catalogue, this time Volume 1 2025. We have got some awesome new RCs to look at in here, many of which you have seen from Nuremberg Toy Fair, all released there, but we've finally got it in print to have a look at. So let's turn the pages. Let's have a chat about some of the models, and then I will give you guys just a page turn at the end without me talking over it, so you can see all of the models in lovely, glorious print. So I've not looked at this beforehand. I will talk you through what I know, and straight up we're talking about something that I don't have a lot of experience with, and that is a brand new Scania 770 model truck with trailer. Now these things are cool. They are really, really detailed. Huge amount of effort that goes into putting together these models. I've never built one myself. I know there are lots of people out there that have done them and really, really have enjoyed them. I think Adam's done one before. Glenn is currently doing one over at Riviera RC. So, and I know there are other big channels that dedicate their time and their energy into these trucks. A lot of effort. I'd like to do one at some point, but for now I am focusing mostly on the buggies, which are not on the second page. So what we've got on the second page is a RC tank, the Leopard 2 A7V, a German main battle tank. Again, I don't know a great deal about the tanks. There are people out there that absolutely adore these models. They're very, very detailed. I'd imagine there's a huge amount of work that must go into painting these things. But not one for me. But really cool that Tamiya is still supporting that market. And there are plenty of people out there who enjoy creating their World War II models. And I'm sure that'll be on some people's hit list for the year. Next page. Now, this is something that I'm interested in. The Fighter Next Gen, the DT04 chassis. I have one of these in the post on its way to me. I am not lucky enough to get given one from Tamiya. I have to purchase my own, unfortunately. But I saw this and I was in two minds about it. I must admit, originally I was in two minds about it, because I couldn't decide whether or not it was too similar to the DT02 and DT03 to go for it. But there's enough unique things about it that made me reconsider. So firstly, it comes in two different wheelbases, so you can alter that within the box kit. You can change the wheelbase. You can have a shorter one or a longer one, which is great. The rear gearbox is a DT02 gearbox set that's stuck on to the new chassis, but it is a new chassis underneath, so that is great. It comes with CVAs, which is brilliant. It has adjustable arms at the front and at the back that you can put on, which again is really cool. And it's got hexes on the front wheels and not bearings, which is also brilliant. So there's enough unique things about it that I thought it was good enough to give it a go, and I'm really looking forward to it. Rumour has it that on the chassis there are actually enough holes drilled in that you can actually stick a BBX gearbox on the back of this, and I don't know what that would do to it. I'm really intrigued. I don't have a BBX. If I had, I would absolutely be unscrewing the gearbox and seeing whether it goes onto this model. I'm looking forward to putting this against the DT02, the DT03 and the DT04 and doing a full comparison video and getting them all out on the track at the same time and really going to town, because I hope this kickstarts another 10 years of entry-level buggies, good quality buggies that people can run, they can race, they can brake, they can fix, and really get into our wonderful hobby. So this is great news. TRF 104, Tamiya has created a new TRF for the F1 chassis. If I had somewhere to run these, I would absolutely be interested in a little bit of that. I think it looks absolutely fantastic. Loads of lovely hop-ups on there out of the box. And what is odd is that they didn't put a body on it. You just get the chassis. So if you've got one of these already, which is the F104 Pro 2 with the body. You could get yourself one of those and replace the chassis and use your body set off of that. Really cool. I think it's a shame that Tamiya don't have some of the licenses for the F1 vehicles. I think it's a real shame. It's a real missed opportunity, and it would be cool to see Tamiya putting out Ferraris, McLarens, etc. Ooh, Porsche 911 GTR 992. We're into the TT02 chassis. That is a stunning body set, and so is this one over here, the Audi 90 Quattro Racing on the TT02. That is also quite nice as well, which you can't see because the light's shining on it. The Audi R8 LMS 2008. And this is quite nice as well down here, the Porsche. That's on the BT01 with a rear-wheel drive. So lots of lovely body sets. Tamiya are renowned for this stuff, aren't they? For producing really detailed, really nice body sets. That one I like a lot. But, again, I don't really have a need for a road chassis. I do like that one too. But this is what Tamiya do great. They do the really detailed, nice body shells. And you can have a lot of expression in the models, which is great to see. Very cool Volkswagen Golf 2 GTI. That's on the MB01 chassis. Again, not a chassis I've got much experience with, but I do like it. I like the fact that it's modular. I like the fact you can do different drivetrains on it. I think it's really cool. Different layouts for the motor, so you can go midship rear, you can go front. You can do the same with the BT01 chassis over this side. I really do like this body set, the Peugeot 306 Maxi. I think that's really sweet. I think that'll make a cool rally car. I wonder how you can hop this chassis up to rally. I've not seen anyone who's done that with the BT01. Be very interested to know if that's something that we could play about with at some point and get that rallying in a similar way to what we've done with the TT02 over the years. Interesting chassis, interesting because I think they've divided opinion amongst the community. Some people have complained there's an awful lot of slop in these chassis. I think that's a shame that people are labelling the chassis in that way. I think at the end of the day, a lot of people have got TT02s that they've never driven because they just like putting the models on a shelf, and these chassis would be great for that. There are those of us that do drive them all the time, and maybe you don't want all the slop, but you can get some shims and put some shims in there and tighten it all up a little bit. And that's what I plan on doing with the MB01. If it's a bit too sloppy, then we'll change that. But I'm actually going to rally my MB01, so maybe you want a bit of slop in it if you're going to be rallying it all over the place. TT02 Celica GT4, very nice. That's a painted body on that one. The classic Subaru Impreza Mexico 2004 and the TT01 Type E chassis. It's still there after all these years. You can still get yourself a TT01 Type E chassis. Amazing. Type R down there, TT02 Type R. All great to see these chassis back and available. Over here, we've got the Big Wig, which I'm sure loads of people are really, really excited about. Now, I've got a confession to make on the Big Wig because I built one of these little tiny mini Big Wigs the other day. And when the Big Wig was announced to be a Riri, I declared that I had no interest in it whatsoever because I had no affinity for them when I was younger. I built this little thing up and decided that I really quite like the look of it. And now I really wish I was getting one of these, but I've not bought one. And unfortunately, probably won't have the RC funds to pick one up because I spent my money on a DT04. So we're going to miss out, I think, on the Big Wig this time round. But so is life. You cannot have them all. It's just not possible. But for those people out there who are excited about the Big Wig, I think I understand why. Honda City Turbo, going to be incredibly popular. They are going to sell like hotcakes. People love that. Phil at Tomley has made a bit of an icon, really, of that within the RC community. People see that and they think of his channel. It's a very smart idea, Phil. Very smart indeed. But I think that will be very, very popular. I think it's cool. I think Tamiya could do a few more of these types of vehicles. I think people would go for it if they could find some other Japanese iconic city cars like that they could turn in and put on the WR02C chassis. I think that would be really, really interesting. Super astute. We all know what I think of that. I'm really pleased to see that back in the lineup. It's lovely to see that back in this catalogue. Can we have a Dynastorm, please, Tamiya? That would be nice. Maybe in 2026 or maybe Volume 2 of 2025. We'll see. We will see. But great that you can get that car again. I have one. Can't wait to build it. But I'm in no rush because I've waited for so many years to get one of these that I'm going to enjoy it when I do build it. A page of trucks. 2 pages of trucks. And I always say when I look at this, if I was going to get one, I would have that one. Because it looks, the globe liner looks like Optimus Prime. And I remember the Transformers from when I was a young boy. But I also do like these, the Grand Haulers as well. Quite hooked to the American style trucks rather than the European style trucks. But plenty of trucks to fill your boot. And I can absolutely see why this is so popular for the detailed modelers. I think this is fantastic. And the more I get into the hobby, the more I get tempted to have a go at doing one of these. And I'm sure one day I will get to do that and spend loads of money on lovely hop-ups and stick a load of multi-function control units in and have a good old-fashioned time with it. I probably won't be enjoying the tanks, but it is great to see that Tamiya is still doing a good range of tanks to appeal to people who like that. And they also have them in a lovely 1/35th scale, which is pretty cool. We're into the buggies. So the off-road cars on this side of the page over here are the classic high re-res that we've had. The Avanti, the Egress, the Top Force. The Top Force Evo is no longer on there because it has been discontinued. The Super Clodbuster is on there. The Avanti Black, the Manta Ray, the Fighting Buggy, and the Fast Attack Vehicle. All of them say limited edition. So if you are in the market for one of these and you haven't got it, don't hang around. Because like the Top Force Evo, eventually they're gone. Terra Scorcher, gone. VQS, gone. There'll be others. They will come. We get them for a while and then you don't see them again. So if you want one, make sure you get it. On this page, we have some of the more modern releases. We've got the BBX, which I do want. I still want one. Everyone I've heard that has one of those say how good it is and how reliable it is and what a fun build it is. And Tamiya have just got it right. And I cannot wait to finally get one of those and experience it one day. The Hornet Evo, great to see Tamiya doing something different, but I cannot understand the price of that thing, given that is a TTO2 gearbox. And given the price point that they bought the DTO4 out at, I think Tamiya got the price on that completely wrong. Those people who have built them say that it's fun, but I don't think it's really offering necessarily something new. It's just something that's basically playing into the retro feel. But it is cool that Tamiya did it. It is cool. The Wild One and the Hotshot 2 Blockhead are still available. Interestingly, they don't say limited edition on them anymore. They don't say they're limited runs. They're just there as standard. So maybe we've got those for a little bit longer. Not really models that I've been interested in. I think if I was going to get a Hotshot 2, I'd probably get the original one. I wouldn't get this one. And I did get a Wild One, and I didn't get that one. So maybe that tells me something that I need to know, that I'm not really fixated on these types of Blockhead editions. I do like the Blockhead stuff, but these just didn't do it for me. Limited edition releases: Buggy Champ, Wild One, Nova Fox, which some of these have been around for quite a while, Boomerang. All limited editions, all may come and may go. That's on the reissue side. Over here, we've got the Hotshot 2 at the top. We've got the Combat Support Vehicle, the Blackfoot. Don't see many Blackfoots around these days, if I'm honest. But it is in the catalogue, which is good. Monster Beetle, Blitzer Beetle, Rising Fighter, Grasshopper, Hornet, Frog, Sand Scorcher, Subaru Brat, which don't see too many of those in the stores at the minute. Holiday Buggy on the DTO2, Grasshopper 2, Super Saber, Hotshot, Super Shot, Thundershot. VQS is there, but they're harder to get these days. Thunder Dragon and Scent Dragon. Isn't it great to see all those iconic RCs from all those different time frames all on one page? And that's awesome. Well done, Tamiya. Of the page, TTO2B, the master of the off-road. Well, yeah, actually, it is. Ultra Raceway winner. First season out was the Plasma Edge on TTO2B. That's very nice. TTO2BR is a real hopped version of one of these. that's been discontinued in the UK. So while it is in the 2025 catalogue, I know that has been advertised as being discontinued. Maybe that's just in the UK market, but really hard to get hold of those now, even at a £300 odd price point. DT03 still rocking and rolling there with the different models at the top. We've also got the DT02 down here and the Sand Viper. Really interesting to see that the TD4 and the TD2 are both in the 2025 Volume 1 catalogue. Again, both of those, I believe, have been discontinued in the UK. So it's nice to see them in here, but I am concerned that they're there more because you can still get them rather than you're going to be able to get them as you go forward. But then we heard the DF03, sorry, has been discontinued, and that's still here after all those years. The comical ones, I believe, have been discontinued. They're still here also. And then at the bottom there, you've got your CW01 lineups. Lots of nice pumpkins and boxes. CC02 over this side. Haven't seen a new... I know the Bronco was probably the last new model that they did. We've not seen a new body on the CC02 for a while. We've got to be due some new ones of those at some point. But it's nice to see plenty of options still available there. We have the tracks. We've got the GF01 Land Cruiser on the quad track and the TT02 FT. They also were discounted very heavily just before Christmas, and it is surprising to see them still in here. CR01 chassis got the Rocker Socker. I never see the Land Cruiser, certainly not in Europe. That may be available out in Asia, but you cannot get that in Europe at all. We've got Squash Van on the GF02. People who have got that say about how robust and how good it runs, so I think that's great. Probably deserves a lot more love than what it's got. Tamiya probably needs to do something else with that chassis and not let it die a death. GF01 Monster Beater Trial and the GF01 Toyota Land Cruiser, both still in there. We've got the 6-wheel drive, the G601 chassis, plenty of those to write home about, and the 4x4 pickups at the bottom. Always there, very, very expensive. I would love to do one of those at some point, but not right now. MF01X chassis. Speedrun chassis, if you're a poor boy RC fan. Everyone had a lot of fun with those last year, and we got some insane speeds. I did not. I didn't break out of the silver can, unfortunately, but mine is ready to rally. I've got the Volkswagen Beetle, and I am ready to rally next year out on the Orchard Raceway with it. Can't wait. The XV02 down at the bottom here, the Pro variants there, both the on-road and the off-road variants, and also the XV01s. Still rocking and rolling. Amazing, amazing chassis. If you like rallying and you enjoy RC cars, get one of those. XM01 Pro. Surprised we haven't seen anything else with that chassis yet. I don't know how popular it's been. I've got one, not built it. I look forward to building it. I think it's probably going to be better than this one was because it's got a slightly short wheelbase. Not really much to say about that other than I'm looking forward to building it. We tip over the page and we've got the C chassis. We've got the Porsche 956 with its slightly altered decals at the top there. Very, very nice. And we've also got the Mercedes-Benz C11 that still exists and still out there. Out the two, still think I prefer this one. However, I really do like the Mazda, which Tamiya have said they're not bringing to the European market, which is a real shame. But if you're in Japan, you're going to be able to get that Mazda. And that would be my choice if I was going to get one. The racing truck's still there. TT01 Type E. They're cool. I think there's a big racing scene with these, which is why they still exist. Because people still buy them and they still race them, which is cool. Compact chassis. I had one of those to build. I never did it in the end. I always think back and always wish I had done, but at the same time, I don't know when I'd run it. So, yeah, they're pretty cool. Pretty cool to get your kids involved in this one because they're good, fun little chassis. Nearly there, I think. I'm running out of pages. Quite a lot of pages this catalogue, actually, this year. BT01 chassis. Just another bit of blurb about that, and then some of the alternative body shells, the Porsche and the Toyota Supra. And then over on this side, we've got the TA08 Pro chassis kit at the top there. We've got the TC01 with that lovely Mercedes-Benz chassis. I preferred the Formula E one they did of those. I preferred that to that one, but hey, it's pretty cool. And we've got the SRX type TT02 down here, which I also think may have been discontinued. And down here, a tiny little Type S one as well. There's a lot of chassis in this. As Tamiya have got a lot of product still going on here. Regular TT02 and all of the different body types that you can get for it, as well as the Lancia O37 Rally, which is tucked away down here on the TA02S chassis. So you can still get a TA02, which is brilliant. Even in today, you can still pick that chassis up. I'd love to see some more of these on that old chassis. That would be really nice. MB01 at the top there, still going strong, even though it's had quite a lot of negative press. We've still got, though, all of the MO7, MO8, MO5, and MO6 all represented in the catalogue. I thought these two were dead. And yet, here we are, almost 2 years later, and they're still in the catalogue from Tamiya. So clearly, someone's still buying them, and Tamiya are still making them, or at least they've still got them available to buy, which I think is brilliant. And that is the end. We sign off with a lovely shot of the DT04. And hopefully soon I'll be showing you what one of those looks like on the channel. There you go. The flick through of Volume 1, 2025. I hope you've all enjoyed that. Story time with Craig, as this is affectionately known as. And I do enjoy doing these videos, and I hope you enjoy watching them. Stick around now. I will show you page by page turning them. None of me, just a little bit of light music for your entertainment. Thank you for watching, and see you all soon. Bye for now.